All right, so I'm going to do a plan with me in technically two things. So I have my Sterling Ink N2, and this is the horizontal compact for 2025. I really enjoy this planner a lot. Been using it all year. I would consider this my everyday carry. So this is kind of like my planner that like stuff gets scratched out. I write everything in it. You know, I do future planning, so this is like November. I do current planning. It's got everything from, you know, YouTube to if I've got school stuff, if I'm planning like a trip, stuff gets scratched out. I also, I use it, and I don't necessarily, I don't necessarily, do a whole lot of prettifying, except for I'll, you know, come in on the months and do something. Some months are more than others, but yeah. Anyway, but this is what I look at the most throughout the week. This one, and then the other one I'm going to be setting up as well in this video is going to be my bullet journal for my classes. So yeah, these are the two that I look at and rely on the most. But we're going to start off here. So as you can see, I did a little bit of pre-stickers. Several months ago, I got, you know, these little washi tape stickers, and I was like, I'm absolutely going to be using those. And it was just nice at the time that I did it. I was at another job and wasn't wanting to share the ins and outs of this planner with y'all. But now that I'm not at that job anymore, I'm willing to share. Anyway, and so I had gone in and just done like some setup stuff, like just slapping down these. But anyway, yeah. So let's go ahead and plan this for the week of October the 20th through the 26th. So I kind of have gone through a bit of a change because as you can see, I used to do this and then have my to-do list here. And then last week I did not do that, and I can't decide if I like it or not. I also was tracking my hours. I did not do that this week either. But to be fair, I had horrible neck pain all week. I still have neck pain. So that might be part of that change. But yeah, as you can see, like, I didn't even use the to-do here. So I don't know. I've kind of gone through an identity crisis, I guess, on this. Anyway, ooh, I love that. Anyway, okay, so let's figure out what we want to do. I want to try and freshen it up a little bit. So yeah, let's see what we can get into. I do want to try to get back into my to-dos where I draw this line here though, because what this allows me to do is to pretty much take my to-do list and be like, okay, I'm going to be super busy these days, so probably not going to knock anything out on that to-do list, but on these days, I'll have time to do certain to-dos, if that makes sense. I just said to do a lot. Anyway, so yeah, and then I do always consistently track my habits. These are more personal habits, so like, yeah, we won't go into depth, but I do track certain things. And then I track my workouts if I have a workout. And then I tend to have my to-dos, and I do want to bring back my hours as well, just because that is so helpful to me. So I think I'm going to turn this, and we're going to track my hours this way this time. So let's see. That's not a good one. So, yep. So we're going to go starting at 7. So 7, 8, and I just number it all the way to 20. I switch back and forth between military time, just however is convenient. Like usually if I'm talking to somebody, I'll tell them like, oh yeah, 2 p.m. or whatever, but like stuff like this, it's like, no, 1400, man. So I did work with the military. I wasn't in, but I did work with the military for almost 4 years, and so I just got comfortable with, you know, this time. And then also, you know, I know a lot of people who are from different countries. Like, I mean, at college and stuff, you get a lot, anyway, that are from, you know, like France and stuff like that, and they do military time there, which is funny because they're like, yeah, that's just like normal time. Like, what do you mean military time? And I was like, oh, I don't know. But anyway, so I'm very comfortable with the, you know, counting out military time, I guess is what I'm saying. And I need 2, 4, 6, oh no, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 14. I try to leave about 2 spaces per day is kind of my goal. Oh, I lost my line. Okay, there we go. I think that's good. Just because, like, I'll come in and when I do my dots for it or anything like that, like, I want to make sure that, you know, I have enough space. So I'm just going to take this Tombow. I think it's 972, but it's definitely worn off. And I'm just going to bloop. So I don't really have anything special, other than I do make myself a key because, like, I change the colors semi-often. And stuff, so like I'll have, it looks like mostly browns and then probably this gray. Yeah, no green. So yeah, probably I'll do these 4 colors. Yeah, so I track 4 things mainly. So I have usually class, which will do this ugly brown, and then we will do work, and then we'll do working out, and then last but not least, studying, and that'll be this Tombow 990, which you can barely see because that's about what my workout habits are like, barely there. So that's Tombow 990, Tombow 947, Tombow N49, I think, and then also Tombow 899. Those are the 3 colors that I'll be using. When it comes to this, I know I need to mark this in. So class, and I'll actually do this gray one. No, I'll keep it as work. And then study, and then workout. So, and what I also do is I already know when my classes are, like, so this will be Monday. I know that from about 9:30 to 10:30 Monday, and then 14 to 16:50, I'm for sure going to be in class. And same thing for Tuesday, except for I'll be in 9:30 until about 12:15. And so I can go ahead and mark those in comfortably, because those are pretty much non-negotiables. So that's super easy. I know I'll be in class in those times, so I know I won't be able to work. I won't be able to, you know, study really. And then I can also go in and figure out my work schedule around that, because I am very lucky that unless my supervisor is like, hey, we have a game on Saturday, can you come in and cover for 8 hours? I'm pretty confident in those days that, like, what days I can work. It's a little different this week because we do have a builder coming in, and so me and my husband are going to have to kind of tag team on that. So I'm going to actually hold off now that I think of it. So, and that's it. That's how I track my hours for work, because I do get paid hourly, and I actually kind of like how that turned out. We'll see how it winds up the rest of the week. All right, so now I do want to do workouts right here. So I already had this Tombow 990 as my workout. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch up here with it. So just keeping it in that color family, I guess. So I've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So, and then I also bought stickers that say workout, just because I track and do basically the same things in this every day, or I mean every week. So instead of me writing it out, because I'm not a huge fan of my handwriting personally, so I got a bunch of these script stickers from Simply Smith Stickers. I do like these stickers a lot. I will say for the shop that they are from, just be prepared to wait 2 to 3 months. And she's very upfront about it, to be fair. I just didn't catch it and stuff, and so it kind of bit me a little bit. But yeah. But I do like the stickers, so I mean, it works out, I guess. And then I'm also going to do habits here, and I'm just going to do this Tombow 947. So I track 4 habits, and yeah, sometimes I do well with them, sometimes I don't. My habits are kind of personal, so I'm not really going to share much more than the fact that, oh, these are my habits. With y'all, you can probably guess what this one is. All right. So, that's all that I do. I've got those 4 main ones. And then this is dry enough so I can come back in. Okay, and that's pretty much the setup for the week. I do have a few things to write in that are due for class this week. So on the 23rd, I know for sure I've got a Kim deal going on. For personal, which I did not pick a color, but I want, what do I want for my personal? I'm going to use this one. It's the Tombow, I think it's 992, but I'm going to use that to put in the personal stuff for me, which I've really only got like these 2. So, we are getting a shipment in of materials for our horse shed, which we are super excited about, and then the builder's gonna be there the next day, and then the day after as well. So yeah, we're excited about that. I do have that Kim homework that is for sure due. And then, oh, I also want to mark in on a personal note that Tuesday is my husband's first day of clinicals. So he's going to be in clinicals 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. Okay. And I have a couple of expected paydays. So this is one of those little stamp markers. It's the only one that I have that stamps, because I feel like they're kind of inconsistent. Because, like, look, I can't even get a straight one. But it comes in handy for, like, this planner because I'm not needing it to be super fancy, I guess. Oh, no, I smudged. So, yeah. That is, I think, the gist, right? Let's see. Nope, that's too far. Yep. Yeah, that's it for this week. So not too shabby. I do have a few things I want to put in as a to-do. So, let's see. Tomorrow, I think I'll be able to call the doctor. So... Okay, I should also be able to work out. I think I'm going to try for upper body. I like doing upper body on Mondays because, well, frankly, I hate upper body. So if I can get it done on a Monday, it's more likely to get done. Oh, I want to go ahead and try to load in my continuing ed. It's been on my to-do list for a hot minute. I need to work out again on Tuesday. So I like to put stuff redundantly when I do it this way. Like, this is my to-do list for Monday and then Tuesday and so on. Just because I like checking stuff off. It's motivating for me. So, yeah. And then I've got lab printout because I've got to print it out. And then I also like to review it before I go into lab because it's less disorienting for me that way. Yeah, that's really pretty much it. We are going to do our darndest to finish the fence this weekend. So we're hoping for a full weekend at the house, but we shall see. And yeah, that's pretty much what I'm going to do for this week. Like I said, I'm kind of trying to figure out what I want to do. So this week, we're switching to the to-dos here and doing it day by day, and then just have my habits, my workouts, my timekeeping, which honestly I could probably, anyway, we'll play around with it. And then we're gonna see how that goes. I also have YouTube stickers. I guess I could put my to-do for YouTube as well, because I do like having that on like kind of display. And not that YouTube is work, because I mean, honestly, it's YouTube, but I am going to use the color for work here, and this is a bit tinier than the rest, so I'm going to put bloop here. I do plan on having this video out on Wednesday, so the N2 plan with me, and then also the regular plan with me. So there, I've definitely got 2 coming out this week. So this is how I do my everyday carry. And then I'll go and I'll fill it out throughout the week. Some weeks I'm better than others. Some weeks I'm not good at all. Yeah, it just kind of varies. And some weeks I like the colors better than others. But yeah, so that's my everyday carry right there. And yeah, so now we're going to switch over to my school bullet journal, which there's not a whole lot to say about this one other than I am enjoying it. It is very useful, and I like it. So there's that. I need probably that much left in that. So we're going to start off on this. I haven't quite decided. The last one that I had, like, I did waterfall tabs. I decided to opt out of that for this one since I started a new one. So I'm not 100% how I want to tackle this, but let's just do a quick weekly overview. And I do want to let's do a little washi here to kind of remind myself that I've got this going. So, I can't see the edge. I think that's it. It's not quite the edge, but it's close enough for government work, so. There we go. So just something to kind of denote that, like, oh no, that won't work at all, will it? Wow, this is not going well, guys. Okay. There we go. Find the dots, use the dots. And then, I mean, it's close. It's close enough. I'm just gonna, I'll cut it off later. How about that? Just kidding. I'm just gonna sit here and make y'all watch me wrap this around the page. All right. There we go. Wow. Okay. So there's that. And then I do want to make a line. Actually, I think I'm going to use this black Tombow. It's the N15. And I'm going to just make a quick calendar. Here. It'll be fine. Ah! Oh no, I dropped the cap. Okay, so making a quick calendar. I am going to have to peek into, actually I don't know where my old book, oh here it is. My old journal, because I have a cheat sheet right here. So it's 5. Okay, and I actually also need to move that cheat sheet in, but yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I just come in. And honestly, I make it pretty much like my other one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or my one in the weeks version. I think that's 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope. Okay. But I pretty much make it pretty close to that. I'll do just like this simple setup. 5. And basically, I thrive off of redundancy, I guess. 3, 4, 5. It makes me feel better. It also gets me thinking about the week ahead. And I don't know, I feel better when I have it in multiple places. And this one's definitely, obviously, more geared towards my schooling and everything. But yeah, and when I'm studying, I can look back, or also so that I don't have to have my everyday carry out at all times. I have this, you know, and so I can be taking notes, and then they say, oh yeah, this is going to be due on X, Y, and Z, so this will be week 9. Pretty sure. And it's week 9 of 16. So we'll just do, actually, decisions. I think I want to do this one. Yep. I didn't even check and see if y'all could see this dang thing. Okay, good, you can. That would have been awkward if I'd been talking this whole time about it and then you couldn't see it. I'm using this Papermate Ink Joy. And so I've got that all written. And now I need to put in my dates. So it's the 20th through the 26th. So okay. And so what I do here is I usually break it down into a more microscopic type situation, if you will. So I need a to-do, and we will just do this one because this kind of goes with that dark case. So errands, appointments, errands, shopping list, what? Agenda, sure. We'll use the agenda one here. And just put that right there. So super simple. I rely heavily on pretty much stickers. So I know I'm going to have a few things here. So I'm going to put just 4 to begin with. Yeah, just like that. So I have my chapter 4 homework for chemistry, and that is due on the 23rd. And I am happy to report that I have already finished it. I'm pretty confident that I'm going to have a chapter 10 and 12 homework for my bio. And then I know I'll have a quiz in chemistry. It's open book, so it's fine. But I know I'll have that. And then, what else am I gonna have this week? Anything at all? Okay, so those are the 3 main ones. I also want, I'm gonna keep this open, but I'm definitely going to be focusing a lot more on, you know, getting ready for my bio, because I feel like I have not been putting my best foot forward in my bio class. I've got like a high C, and I feel like I should at least be doing like a B. So, yeah. I'm probably going to do my quiz on Wednesday at work, so I'll go ahead and mark that down. And then, yeah, that's pretty much, tomorrow I'm going to focus more on chemistry notes for studying. And then I'm also on Tuesday going to focus on bio notes. And then we'll kind of see how the week shapes up from there. I've got a little bit of room, so I'm going to add a little bit of a floral. This has such pretty, like, florals here, so, and it's peonies, and I love peonies. They're my favorite flower, so put that here. I think that relatively goes with the theme, right? And then do a little dragonfly, butterfly going on here. There we go. And just have a nice little scene. And that's pretty much my setup for this week for my 2 most used planners. Let me set that one out. So that's what it looks like. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you hung around this long, thanks a million, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.